Ed, I thank you for coming in today.
You're welcome.
Can you tell us what your role is at the Ministry of Agriculture?
Yeah, I'm kind of in between two jobs. So far I've worked with a department in the ministry that was concerned with science, education and extension in all the fields that the ministry is responsible for. And I will be moving to the Dutch Food and Consumer Goods Authority, the Duch Food Safety Authority.
So what is your relationship with the Global Initiative for Food Systems Leadership?
The relationship is that I have helped out with organizing some parts of the study tours that are being conducted. Earlier this year I did the organization of one of the study tours, at least part of it, the Dutch part. And currently we are also conducting a study tour of which I've organized a few days in the Netherlands.
You mentioned these study tours, and one of them that we call the Farm to Table program. Can you tell us a little bit about that program?
Yeah, the idea of the Farm to Table study tour is that we try to show the food chain in its entirety, from the start, the primary producer, even before that, the feed producer, up into the retail part of the chain, and we try to confront the people in the study tour with all kinds of elements that have to do with food safety, various responsibilities of primary producers, of companies, of governments, and how systems can work. So it's quite interesting to show the whole system, the whole chain, and then not from a technical perspective, but more from the quality perspective.
You were involved with what is called the International Food Safety Administration Training Program, where you brought around a number of Chinese delegates and did a similar type tour.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that tour?
The tour started in Rome, where we had discussions with the international organizations, FAO, OIE, WHO. We moved through the Netherlands, visited some companies, visited the Ministry of Agriculture and a border inspection post. We were in Brussels visiting the European Commission, and we moved to the United States and visited Washington and Michigan, where we were discussing things with some of the industrial partners in the program.
And what have you gained from your participation in these programs?
Well, I might say that I learn almost as much from the participants in the program as I hope the participants will learn from us. A very important bring home message that I derive from this type of courses is that there is no one system, there is no blueprint that will fit on every situation. Every country, every sector, every food chain has its own problems, its own peculiarities, and what we need to be is very creative and try to work in the most optimal way with the situations that are there.
You mentioned creativity and collaborations.
Mm-hmm.
What future types of collaborative programs do you see with the Global Initiative for Food Systems Leadership?
Well, there are various. I could imagine that we could continue these study tours and try to bring them, make them even more international. We have some ideas of having a one-week course in the Institute of Public Health next summer at the University of Minnesota. So those are some of the things that we can think of. What I think is important is to see if it's possible to make more collaborative linkages with probably other universities in other parts of the world, but also probably with some of the governmental organizations that we have dealt with during the various study tours that we already have been organizing.
Thank you again, Ed. I really appreciate you visiting with us today.
You're welcome.